tortured myself and watched all of them. Every single Puppet Master movie. If you like looked on my Instagram, and if you want, alright, come on, if you want to. But anyways, if you looked on my Instagram, you could see that I watched every single Puppet Master, and I don't know what life is anymore after that. Once I got to like 5, I was like, I'm getting drained a little bit. So I kept going, and I kept going, and I should have just stopped at 5. I do like the puppets and some of the movies, but you know, I couldn't. The reason why we're on the topic of Puppet Master is because you saw the title. We have a double review right now. I have played with these guys a little bit off screen and stuff when I first got them, and they're fun. They're just fun little dumb figures of weird designed characters. But we do have a double review today. We have 2 Puppet Master reviews. If they made the Jester and 6-shooter earlier, which they are coming out with it, which I'm kind of excited for because I do like 6-shooter and Jester, so I'm going to be getting those as well. I hope the box is kind of consistent because I do really like this box. Usually I kind of get rid of the box, but this one I'm actually really going to keep. So we're going to take a look at it together, and I'm going to show you what I mean on why I like these boxes so much. But these are kind of older figures, so you probably already know, but I'm just going to show you anyways because why not? But we have our 2 sets right here. We have a little bit of a bigger one, which has Pinhead and Tunneler, and we have the one that has Torch and Blade, my favorite, because these are my 2 favorite characters from the movie. It's everybody's 2 favorite characters, but yeah, I'm excited. I do want to take a look at Pinhead and Tunneler first because, you know, you gotta save the best for last. But we're gonna take a look at both boxes. We're gonna open them up, and yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So hopefully my hair looks weird. It's so spiky. Anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy. Let's get on to the review. So both boxes are pretty much the same. They have this pretty cool image of Pinhead and Tunneler, of the 2 characters right here. Puppet Master Evil comes in all sizes. The names right there, and of course Andre Toulon's chest in the back with that very nice wood kind of flooring with the blue and the white and the black. I think that looks really cool. I do love that the packaging looks like Andre Toulon's briefcase. You can see on the side it looks like it's got the latches there, and on the back it looks pretty cool. It shows you images of the actual figures, of what they do, and of course, you know, all of them together. At the top it has Puppet Master, and I like it because when you open it, it looks like Andre Toulon's kind of, you know, briefcase. And you can see it says Puppet Master. It's got the nice little laugh and sad face, I guess. Some little drawers that can't be opened, but that would have been kind of cool if it did. But, you know, it's got some little drawers here. It looks really cool. I love this packaging. It's probably one of the best packagings I've ever seen on some figures. Neca done some pretty cool stuff, but I think just the Puppet Master stuff they went all out with. And you can see that it's pretty much the exact same thing with Blade and Torch. You know, it's got the same kind of look. It's just got Blade and Torch instead. Of course, on the back, you know, it's replacing Pinhead and Tunneler. And you can see, if you open it up, it's a little different. There's not as much, there's a lot more room than what they had before, because they had a tiny little sliver with Tunneler's side. But since these guys don't have that much accessories, you know, that's pretty much that. The boxes are really, really cool, and I do not want to get rid of them. I want to keep them. Probably, if I do have them on display, just kind of have them like this. And when you get Jester and 6-shooter, we'll have it as well, kind of, you know, just to the side. Because these are really, really cool boxes, and I think they did a fantastic job at them. But let's take a look at all the figures, starting with Pinhead and Tunneler. So before we take a look at the actual figures right here, we're going to take a look at their little accessories. And I was kind of surprised to see these guys had a lot of little accessories and stuff. So if we get the light a little bit closer, we can kind of see what we got going with. So stuff that Pinhead can actually hold, it's the wrench. He can actually hold this big wrench, which is very interesting. It's painted pretty nicely. I like the scuffing on it. It looks pretty cool. I don't remember him using a wrench in the movie, but I don't care to, you know, go back and actually look. But I do like some of, like, there's a little bit of like kind of dirtiness to it, and I love just how it's painted. I do kind of like the brown that's mixed within this, within here. I think that looks so cool. Makes it feel a little bit more real. You can't use it, sadly. It's just kind of there for, you know, aesthetic, but it looks really cool. I like the way it's painted. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrench right there. Another thing that he can hold is this little fire poker, which he does use in the very first movie when he tapped the lady on the head, and you know, that it was interesting how he can hold it. But you know, he's a strong dude. He punches people a lot, so but yeah, I'm at least glad I recognized some things from the movie and it wasn't a complete waste of time watching them. But it does look really cool. I like the way the handle looks, and the actual poker itself is pretty nice. I'm gonna see if I can find what other poker there is, if I remember during this review, to look at the one that came with I think it was Jason or Michael, but they both came with a little fire poker, but I don't think it's that as big as that, but we'll see what it looks like in one of their hands. Another thing that Pinhead can hold is this little vial, and this is the kind of rejuvenation potion that they use to pour on Andre Toulon's corpse in the second movie. But yeah, it's pretty much that. It looks really nice. I do kind of like the ripple effect. There is a little bit of a sloppiness to the paint job right there, but it's nice. It gets the job done. I do like the way it looks, so there's that. Some other things that do come with Pinhead. Pinhead does come with some closed hands, but he also comes with these kind of grabby hands. These are the closed hands. He uses the grabby hands right now, but you can see that he has some fists right here, but we'll take a look at those when we actually get to the figure. Stuff that we use for Tunneler, he does have his own little pickaxe. Again, I don't remember him using a pickaxe, but you can also see some little scuffing here, which is a downfall of Tunneler. We'll get to that in a second. But it's a very nicely sculpted pickaxe. Again, we'll see what it looks like on either Jason or whoever I have coming up. He also has a grease gun. I don't remember the grease gun at all, but he does have a grease gun in like the original figure, so I guess there's that, but I just don't remember him using a grease gun. But it's cool. I love the scuffing to it, and the sculpting does look very nice, but I like that. He also does come with a little hook. It's a hook that's has a rope that's tied to another hook, and I guess this is used from the third movie when they hung up that when they put these hooks through that one Nazi dude. I don't remember his name. I'm going brain dead because, you know, I just hate thinking about the movies. I actually like the third movie. The third movie was actually really good. There are some scenes that I was like, really, why? But I actually enjoyed watching the third one, and the cool final act with them stringing him up with these hooks is actually really cool. I'm glad that it's included here. I definitely do like the way that looks. I don't know how you would pose it with him, but you know, you can always try. He also does come with a hand as well. This is I think it's one of the shooter hands. No, this is just kind of a normal hand. It's another little grabby hand. It looks pretty nice. I do like the way it looks. It's painted nice, but the painting is kind of crap, which we'll take a look at in a second. He also does come with another head, but we'll take a look at that in a second. So let's get both of them out here and let's take a look at them. A lot of people say Pinhead is the hardest to stand up, and I do agree, but I do think that Tunneler is also up there. I think that he's pretty hard to stand up as well. They both look really, really cool together. I do like the way both of them look. Taking a look at Pinhead real quick, I think he looks really dope. Like, he's a pretty dope little figure. I like the way he looks. The sculpting for his outfit is really, really nicely done. I like the lankiness of him in his arms. I think it really is cool how he has this ginormous body and these tiny little legs and this very tiny little head. I think that's just so funny. The head sculpting itself is actually done pretty nicely. I do like the way it looks. If it will focus, there we go. It's done pretty nicely. I really like the amount of detail that's in this little dude. If we just, you know, lock that in, hopefully. No, you're not gonna work with me. Come on, I was hoping to get through this as quick as possible. Aha! There we go. You ain't getting past me, stupid auto. I don't know what I'm saying, but he does look really cool. I like the way it looks. I do like the, you know, the peek at the little head. You can see that his eyes and his mouth, you know, they have some sort of paintwork to them. The eyes definitely have that kind of pinkish tint to them. It's very nicely painted, and I like the way the outfit is as well. You can see that he also does have other hands as well. He does have two different kind of grippy hands. He's got this one's kind of more for, you know, grabbing the bigger objects, and this one is a little bit more for grabbing, I guess, smaller stuff. So like maybe the fire poker can be held with this one, and this one can hold like the giant wrench. I think that's really nice. You can see that the sculpting is very nicely done on this entire body. It is pretty cool to see, you know, they even took the time to like kind of fill in the gaps here so it doesn't look ugly with kind of like this kind of undershirt, which is pretty cool. Posability on Pinhead, he does have a very nice range of posability. You can look up that far, down that far, and kind of a double ball joint, which is pretty cool. He's got a ball joint at the very base of the neck and also all the way down to the bottom as well. It does have a very nice range of posability, and I think that's really cool. The arms can do a full 360 and can move out that far. It does have a swivel at the, I guess you say the elbow, I guess, and also at kind of the wrist. I want to show you this double joint because this is really nice. He's got a double joint at the elbow, which can make it fleshly turn, and that just looks awesome. Look how neat that looks. It's so seamless on how that just kind of bends. I really do like the way that looks. He also have a swivel at the wrist, and it's also on a ball joint, so it can kind of go a little bit up and down, side to side. He does have a swivel at the waist, which can do a nice, decent waist crunch and can go back about that far. The legs do have a decent amount of spreadage. You can move the leg up that far, back that far. Does have a bend at the knee, of course that can also swivel. He does have a tiny little hinge joint as well, and it can turn into a pivot. But posing this guy is really, really difficult just because of how top heavy he is, and with those tiny little feet, it's really hard to just kind of get him into a standing position, which you know, it does suck, but I mean, what else could you do with these guys? So, you know, standing them is very, very difficult. So really do take your time with these guys, but rest assured these guys are going to take a little bit of they're going to fall a lot when you have them on the shelf. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do that when I actually get a nice little spot for these guys. But so far it's, you know, it's good enough. So next we have Tunneler, which I think looks really, really nice. I love the green with the kind of gold accents. I do like the little metal there. I didn't notice that until I actually watched someone else's review, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice the little metal there. But I do love the dark green with the gold accents, and I love the boots. He's got this kind of military style look to him, and I do really like that. The face is such a weird little baby face, and it's just so odd looking. He does, of course, come with the little, you know, drill. And what's so cool that I was not expecting with this, it spins. That is the coolest thing that they could have done. I love the way that spins. But we're going to go back and take a look at the actual little head sculpt, which is very nice. It's more of a kind of squintier look, and also the blade itself, the kind of drill bit, does have some blood on it, which I think looks cool. I would have preferred, I think this head sculpt is really nice, and I love kind of the clean drill, but I kind of wish there was a way to take them off and kind of swap. Oh wait, there is. You can easily take the drill bits out, which honestly, I don't see a lot of people doing this in the review. I don't know if this is actually supposed to be a thing, but I'm making it a thing because it works and it's awesome. You can switch out the drill parts, so this head can have the more bloody drill, and I think that looks awesome. And you can just mix and match the drill bits however you want, and I think it's so cool that you can do that. I absolutely love it. It's so cool. It also spins on this one as well. It's a little bit looser on this one, not because I took it off, but that's just kind of how it was out of the packaging. But it is really cool. There is a downfall with this head sculpt though, and you can kind of see it right there. You can see at the neck, it is, it does look like it's chipping, and that's because it's rubbing up against the actual clothing, and the paint is kind of smearing onto the neck, and I think that sucks. I really don't, that really does suck for this figure. Another thing that does suck is that the hands are very chip worthy. You can see that the black is already seeping through. But yeah, when you start like rotating this thing, the skin just peels off really easily. And if you do take this little arm off to replace it with the other one, you can see that the paint really did just chip right off, and that just kind of sucks. I wish that they use a little bit more of a stronger paint, or just kind of used they didn't have a black base when painting this, but that's how it's supposed to look, kind of seamless. But when you start moving it around, you can see that the paint does chip, and that does suck. And there's nothing really you can do about that, but it's whatever. The outfit again looks really cool. He does have a pretty nice range of posability. Of course, he's got the swivel at the top of the head. Can head look up that far, down that far. He's got the side to side and the swivel. He can move his arm out about that far. He's got a nice rotation here. Not as good of a bend as Pinhead, but it's still a decent bend. Of course, he's got the swivel at the wrist. He's got a nice waist swivel here, which I really do like how they kind of cut that off instead of making it a flesh piece, but that does look really nice. Not much of a crunch, but it's something. He does have a spread edge at the leg. He's got a nice movement that goes out and back that far, which I think is nice. Bend at the knee, swivel at the foot, which just turns into a pivot. And of course, he's got the hinge joint at the foot as well. Sorry for the low quality when it just goes out of focus. It's so hard to kind of get them to focus on small figures like this, but yeah, that's Pinhead and Tunneler. It's a nice set, and I really do like these little guys. I think their accessories are really, really cool. But yeah, definitely a great little 2-pack for these guys. But I think the best 2-pack, well, I can't really see the best because they don't really have any accessories, but they have a pretty decent, I just love those figures. But, I think these guys definitely win on accessory part, but these next 2 figures are definitely my favorites. So if we move these guys out of the way, let's take a look at Blade and Torch. As you can see, the accessories are definitely booming right now. They don't have a lot at all, but Torch does come with his flame effect piece, which is very nicely sculpted. I do like that it is see-through as well, so when you put light up to it, it just kind of glows orange. I think that's really cool. And you can stick that onto his arm, which is this little peg right here, and you just stick that onto the actual flame part, and it looks pretty nice. I think that looks decent, so that is a very nice little accessory for Torch. I think that it should have been, he should have had a little bit more, but I mean, he was only in like 2 movies, barely 2 movies, so I guess that makes sense that he only comes with a torch. Blade has stuff that I kind of want to show off camera, but he does come with an extra blade that has some blood on it and an extra face that has blood, but I want to take a look at those in a little bit of a close-up. But let's get these two out here, and these guys look so cool. They're a lot easier to kind of, manage to, mess around with than Pinhead and Tunneler. These guys are so cool. So I want to start off with it's so hard to put these guys in a ranking. These guys are really tied for the first on my favorite puppet. But, he looks so cool. I love the way they did his figure. I love just kind of this trench coat, and I love the undersuit. I love the little black glove as well. I think that's really cool with the 4 fingers. I don't know if that's accurate. It probably is accurate. But it's very nice looking, and I love the kind of torch part as well. The head sculpt is definitely the main attraction. I love this kind of style, how it looks like the helmet, and it just looks so cool. I love it. I wish, though, the eyes were more red instead of an orange, or just put in a little light up feature. I think that would have been so cool. If I had another head, I would try my best to kind of install a little LED light to make the eyes glow, but I think this is pretty nice on how they did it. I love the little spike at the top, and I love just how the teeth are bullets. That is just so cool, but the detailing is so cool. And the best part about this guy is the hinge joint at the jaw. That is so cool. They did not have to do that, but that just looks so cool. I love that. It's just amazing looking. It's so cool. I love it. It gives the figure so much expression, and I think it's just done really nicely. Again, I love just kind of this kind of coat. It looks very, very nice, and he does have a little badge right here, which is so cool. I love the way it looks. It's sculpted beautifully with wrinkles and stuff, and I love the painting on these guys. He does have some posability as well. His head can go up that far, down that far, a little bit of side to side, and some swivel here. Of course, the hinge joint at the jaw, which is very nice. He does have some arms that go up that far, some rotation. Does have a swivel here and here, kind of like Pinhead, and he also does have that kind of seamless bend to it. It's not as, flesh, it's not as satisfying to bend as Pinhead's, but it's still really nice. He does have some swivel at the hand, a little bit of swivel at the waist, which I love how that's cut off. It kind of looks like it's all one piece, but I love that that's cut off. He does have some spread at the legs. These little flapped parts do kind of get in the way of that, but, whatever. He does have some leg that goes back that far and forward that far. He does have a bend at the knee. It kind of looks like it doesn't, but he does. It's very tight though, but it is a very nice bend at the knee, and I really do like the way that looks. It does have the hinge joint and of course the pivot as well, so I think that's really cool. Torch is a really awesome figure. I love the way they did Torch. Next, I want to talk about Blade. Blade is so fun. He is the best figure to handle, and I love just handling this guy. He is so cool with that black hat. The sculpting on the face is beautifully done. Same with the hair as well. I love just kind of this black outfit he's got, and I love the blade and the hook hand. I think that's just really, really cool. He's so awesome looking, and I love that head sculpt. I would like to get another head sculpt because he doesn't always have the blades on his eyes exposed. Usually they're kind of just hollow black, which I'd really like to see. So if I ever got another head sculpt, I would love to see these little things off, just to see what that looks like, and gives it more of a variety of head sculpt. I think they should have given us one like that, just to kind of, bring the accessories a little bit more. But it looks really cool. Love the way it looks. And of course you can switch out the blades, which is very nice. You just slide it off right here. It's not on completely tight. You can also do the same with the hook, but I don't see why you would, since there's really no other hook accessory, and you just slide it into the little hole here, and you take your other blade, which has more of a bloodier, looks like he's been slashing up some people at the hotel. and it looks nice. I love the way it looks, but I think that it is complete when you get the next accessory onto it, and I think it's a really dope accessory. And you just pop the head onto the ball joint like so, if you can. It's really hard to kind of get on there, especially with this head for some reason, so you just kind of got to work with it, and there you go. And that looks awesome. That is a beautiful head sculpt. I absolutely love the way they did it. I just love it. The blood effect looks so good, and they just knocked it out of the park. Since we're talking about kind of posability, I kind of want to put that back on, and it pops in a lot easier than the other one. But something that I really want to talk about is the posability, because both heads do have a hinge joint at the mouth, and you can see you just kind of gotta really force it a little bit because it is tight. It's so weird. I had no idea there was a hinge joint at the mouth, and that just makes it look so much more creepier. And I love how they did that. So there's a hinge joint at the mouth. He's got a swivel at the head, some up and down at the head as well. Arm can move up about that far. It kind of gets in the way of this little flap here. It does go a 360. You just kind of got to work with it a little bit, especially with this little flap. I don't know where that little hook hand went. It's just like right there. He does have a bend at the elbow. He does have a little bit of swivel. I guess you can count that as a swivel. He has a very nice ball joint at the waist, which is very, very nice and gives it a nice little movement. The legs can't go out that far because of the flaps at the waist. Same with going back and forward that far with bending or moving the legs out. He does have a nice bend at the knee. He does have the hinge joint and the bend or the toe pivot, which is very, very nice. Like the way this posability is. Again, he's just so much fun to kind of handle. I really like this figure a lot. He's definitely my favorite out of all of them. Just because he's so much fun to just, mess around with. Because he's just so lanky and skinny. And he's got this kind of, he's got little... His posability is just so much fun just to handle, and it's fun to just get him into so many weird poses. But I think this figure is such a good one, and it's so much fun. So let's get these guys all out here, and I kind of want to show you what he looks like next to bigger figures. So kind of huddling the camera because I know these guys are gonna like fall if I try to use like the little stand. These guys look so good together. I absolutely love it. But let's take out a figure, and this is the Part 7 Jason that I did review last October, and you could see just how huge this guy is compared to them. You can see how small they are. They're so really easy to kind of just set. They look so good next to him. I absolutely love it, but Jason is a big guy, so let's take him out. Let's get a bit of a more average kind of human look. So let's take this guy, stand him up real quick before I put him into frame. So let's get Andre Toulon out. I mean, the Invisible Man. Let's get him out there. I hope you got that reference, or I'm just... Anyways. Andre Toulon. Now you got me saying Andre Toulon. It's the Invisible Man. You got the Invisible Man out here, which definitely is Andre Toulon. If you watch the second Puppet Master, he looks exactly like the Invisible Man for some reason. I mean, it makes sense because, he's a corpse, so he's got to bandage his face, so he doesn't scare anybody. But he just looks exactly like the Invisible Man, and I absolutely love it. But you can easily make this Andre Toulon, so I think that's funny. But they look really nice with other characters. Even if they're not from their own wave, they really do pop, and I love the way these guys look. I cannot wait to get 6-Shooter and Jester out here. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I really do hope you guys did enjoy. These guys are so fun, especially Blade and Torch. I think all of them together is so cool. So I think if you're gonna get one, why not get the other one? So I definitely do recommend these figures. Even if you hate the movies a little bit like me, I'd say still go ahead, get them. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much else to say. These figures are awesome. I think the Blade and Torch figure are the best. So definitely, you know, pick those guys up if you want. I did get these on a pretty decent deal on Macari. That's pretty much where I've been buying most of my stuff, because there have been some pretty dope prices. But these guys do look really, really nice together. But yeah, definitely go check them out if you want. But other than that, I think that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the third October toy marathon that we got going on. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. I will see you guys in the next one.